This, if you've watched my video recently on the Serpent ZA channel, and also you mentioned this on your channel.
I did, yeah.
We got this ad being posted on our videos. You know, China Fact Chasers is our other channel. It's our Clips channel. So I searched China Fact Chasers. It came up with this.
What does it say?
It says, since you searched for China Fact Chasers, I almost said finer check faces. Sorry, guys. I got a bit of a cold. I've taken some cold medicine.
Jeff, take the pills, Jeff.
Okay, this came up. Real or fake, the most stunning place in China. Now, this is one of those...
Sponsored.
Yeah, it's sponsored, okay? This is one of those absolutely BS, fluff pieces about China where it's like, China's so great, America sucks.
More importantly, just so you know, this means someone took out an ad campaign on our channel.
Someone paid for ads to pop up when you search our channel.
China Fact Chasers.
Yes.
In an effort to say, oh, they're watching that? Let's watch this instead.
Now, don't worry, this is not a repeat if you've seen my video. This is an evolution. Something has changed. A big evolution. Okay, so take a look.
来中国看中国，讲讲中国故事。
新疆，
讲好中国故事，
讲讲中国故事。
Okay.
That's not good.
So, yeah, we're going to get to that
explain why.
in a second. But I showed that this guy had put out a thing about Xinjiang where he goes and he's like, look at the Muslim religion they're allowed to practice. And he showed a shopping mall that just had like those minarets on top or whatever, as if it was a religious place. After my video came out, he removed that video.
Interesting.
Because he had one, it's like how, I've still got it, but it's like how Muslims live in China or something.
Veiled genocide denial.
It's not even veiled. It's
I'm
literally,
saying,
yeah.
It's veiled.
It's
and
literally
that'll
like,
be relevant later, by the way. Veiled.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, he literally goes to the tourist sites in Xinjiang, like the Urumqi Grand Bazaar, and he's like, look at how they have freedom of religion and all that stuff. Here they're happy and dancing. And that's what we call genocide denial propaganda. He obviously got alerted to my video. I didn't specifically I don't stand for brigading. I didn't tell people to go do anything. No. But I guess some people left comments. So he deleted the video off of his channel, which, I mean, good on him for doing that, number one. Number two, it shows that he knows he did something wrong. Okay? And then he did something else sneaky.
This is where it gets very
He
nasty,
did
and this
something
is what
very sneaky.
alerted us.
Yeah. So you saw that part where it says 讲好中国故事, which is Xi Jinping propaganda. We'll get into that in a minute. Well, that was at the front of this video down here, which is living with a Uyghur family, okay, in Xinjiang, China, okay, a Uyghur Muslim family. So if I click on it now, okay, living with a Uyghur Muslim family in Xinjiang, China. Look, it just comes up, Xinjiang, China. I was like, hang on a second.
Something's missing.
Something's different. So I pull up the original video, which I downloaded, right?
Okay.
Here it is. You can see it's got the same title, Living with a Uyghur Muslim Family in China. Sorry, mate, I downloaded these because I had to edit my video. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's take a look. It's 2442, but the one on his channel is now 2438 or something. He's deleted a little section here. Okay, if we look at the original, in the beginning, he says...
来中国看中国，讲讲中国故事。
新疆, a place.
Okay, now his YouTube video that he's now edited. If I scroll all the way back to the beginning.
新疆, a place rich in culture and deep.
来中国看中国，讲讲中国故事。
新疆.
Okay, so he deleted that little speech in Chinese that he did at the beginning. Why did he delete that?
So I'm a bit of an expert on this.
Yes, please.
Because this directly affects us. The Xi Jinping regime, the leader of China right now, has made one of the backbones of their entire rule to do this campaign called Telling China's Story Well, which is literally 讲好中国故事, which is what he said in his video.
Yes.
Okay? It's a direct quote from Xi Jinping, in fact. Now, why is that bad? Well, this isn't about tourism, guys.
Yes.
It's one branch of that. What this is a multi-billion-dollar campaign from the CCP for malign foreign influence on America and the West in general. Actually, the whole world, to be honest. But in general, the West, right? To repaint and whitewash all of China's human rights abuses.
Yes.
To make sure nobody understands the bad things China does, to hide them, and then repaint them with some sort of beautiful utopian picture, right? Multi-billion-dollar.
Yeah, it's a multi-billion dollars. You know, they keep saying like, oh, America has a $1.6 billion.
Yes.
China's got a multi-billion dollar campaign.
Also, American doesn't have that to do that. That's not how that worked.
No. You see this article's from more than 6 years ago.
Yes. So this Tell China story, well, actually
It's been going on for a long time.
Started in 2013.
Yeah.
It has ramped up to become one of the most important features of the Chinese government, something that we find disgusting, and I'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. A huge part of that is what you're about to see, and that is genocide denial, to say that they did not imprison, force labor, and re-educate in concentration camps millions of Uyghurs.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. This is something that's really made China look bad, the CCP look bad, because they did in modern day pull the Hitler's Germany.
Yeah.
Right. And it's ongoing. Right. Yeah. In fact, many people have given up their lives and freedom to expose this. It has been proven without a doubt to at least exist. Right.
Oh, even the Chinese government admits it exists, but they called it re-education.
We'll see that in a second. Now, when you do some of this Tell China Story Well propaganda, it's usually veiled, right? Like, it's like, okay, I happen to be here and I'm on this tour. Oh, look, there's no genocide here. They try to like kind of paint it. With this guy and his wife, their video, the one that had an ad on our channel.
Yes.
They said the quote. They said 讲好中国, well, he says 讲讲中国故事, right? Yeah. They say the CCP quote, and then
he actually,
do the bad thing.
He quoted Xi Jinping, who said, 来中国, 看中国, 讲好中国故事.
And he doesn't speak Chinese.
No, obviously not. His pronunciation is horrible. But the thing is, he said, 来中国, 看中国. He said, 讲讲中国故事.
Yes.
Same thing. He copied verbatim what Xi Jinping said.
Right.
Okay, because it's part of this. This Tell China Story Well is something that's really big. It's massive propaganda.
It's bad.
Okay, so you know the video that he removed where he was saying like, oh, they've got their religious freedom type thing? In that, he also did some very boring Belt and Road Initiative type infrastructure propaganda.
Also propaganda.
Yeah, where it's like, they're building this thing for trade, blah, blah, blah. And then his wife's like, and the interesting thing is it's going to be done by 2030. And he's like, ooh, that's definitely the interesting part. Anyway.
That's not a script.
Yeah. Let's move on because it gets worse.
Much worse.
Because this is the video that he didn't take down. This is the video that he left up, but he removed the 讲好中国故事 part from the beginning.
Very interesting. They would get rid of that.
Yes. I'd like you to pay attention. I've just paused. This is kind of interesting. So he goes to stay with a Uyghur family. But this is not a Uyghur family. This is like a residential hotel type thing they've got set up next to this theme park.
It's a CCP North Korea style theme park.
Can you see all the cameras in the background, by the way?
Oh, they have minders everywhere.
Because this is actually, as you'll see later, part of a big propaganda like tour where they've got the whole like state media's with them, but they're pretending like they're just travel vloggers. Oh, we're just travel vloggers. Yeah. Anyway, you can see the cameras in the background there, right? Now they go to a Uyghur's house, supposedly, but it's not actually.
Let's give this a taste.
See the woman in the background with all the microphone.
Really good
stuff.
Yep. This is called genocide denial propaganda.
Yeah. This is like, let's go to this
token Uyghur household the CCP has delegated to show people that there's no genocide. Right? And you're participating in this.
It's literally like a Disney setup. You know, it's like it's a small world after all, except it's a Uyghur world after all.
It's like what you said. It's like going to a village set up by the Nazis.
Yeah. Right?
And you go to that village and everything is idyllic, and right next to it, there's concentration camps.
Yeah, but you just don't talk about the concentration camps. Yeah. Right. Okay, so he does
this is the raw Xinjiang right here. I just love it. This is just so real China. This is the raw China right here. Beautiful vegetable garden.
It's literally not the real China. It's a Potemkin village set up by one of the most nefarious branches of the entire Chinese government.
Yes.
And you're participating in it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because this is serving a purpose of deleting the identities of millions of people.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's also quite telling that he's constantly, this is the real Xinjiang, this is the real China, this is the real Xinjiang.
No, it's not. It's quite literally not.
And over. This is, you're in Disneyland, by the way. That is not a beautiful vegetable garden.
Don't
dude.
lie,
you're from Australia. You know what what a beautiful vegetable garden looks like. That's not it. Okay, liar. So you lie on every aspect, apparently. Anyway, let's see. This is, now you see what he did here.
This is bad.
he's walking around in this homestay thing at the back, and he's looking at their beautiful vegetable garden and their chickens and geese and stuff. And he puts this little blurb in the bottom of his video. Fun fact, by the way. How fun is this fact? Does it make you happy and jovial? It's so fun.
Actually pisses me off.
He says Uyghurs, which he spelt wrong, and Tibetans have
Well,
more.
there's two spellings, but that's
Okay,
fine.
have more land than the Han Chinese, as they primarily live in the vast resource-rich regions of Xinjiang and Tibet. Because of this, they are sometimes richer.
I have spoken to CCP officials. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is their verbatim line that
Yeah.
they say about the minorities, how the minorities that they persecute and don't let leave China and
Yeah.
make them live in these concentration camps.
Yeah.
That this is why they're actually better off than Han Chinese.
Yeah. Now, you see, why would you put this fun fact?
This is straight CCP propaganda.
Yeah, unless you were told to.
That's you would never come to that conclusion.
What kind of a random travel vlogger? I'm going to go stay with some Uyghurs. By the way, did you know that most Uyghurs actually, they could be richer than the Han because they have more land?
It's a vast lie, by the way.
Yeah, of course it is. Okay, let's see what else this guy has to say. Is all his wisdom.
This gets so much worse.
Of course, you got to have the couch that's sitting outside. It wouldn't be Uyghur without that.
What are you talking about? That's a China thing.
Is that a traditional Uyghur couch?
That's a China thing. It's nothing to do with Uyghurs.
This guy doesn't actually know anything about Uyghurs. He's literally
Didn't bother to learn shit.
No, exactly. This is real China. You're walking around in a set-up little
Learning unfun
tourism
facts.
village. Yeah, exactly. Not fun facts, dumb facts. Okay.
Picked, eaten. So fresh. So beautiful. So fresh. But spend another day with us.
Yeah, I gotta say, bro. I guess your mom never told you not to chew with your mouth closed.
Apparently not.
Yeah. His whole apple thing is he picked one off the tree to say oh, they grow their own stuff here. It's a pretty sorry looking apple.
Yeah, it is. And it has nothing to do with Xinjiang.
No, of course not.
Stop.
So let's continue here because now he's going to show the traditional culture, right?
Let's see.
Okay, I'll just rewind so you can hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Okay, sorry, no, I'm sorry about that. I sometimes throw these in there.
But spend another day with us here in the province of Xinjiang, exploring the rural and local vibes and the authentic culture.
The authentic culture
Of this amazing province.
Okay, so we're going to explore the authentic culture of this amazing.
By the way,
Province.
the fact that they keep throwing in province is very telling because Xinjiang is stolen land.
Yeah.
It's literally the Chinese government stole it from the Uyghur people. It's part of Central Asia, not China.
Yeah, so wait, remember, authentic culture.
Yes.
When you think of authentic culture, I wonder if this is what you had
Here in
mind.
China.
They have already started dancing there.
They've already started dancing, so let's go
see.
and see.
Is that authentic
Gosh.
culture?
It's like going to Pyongyang and seeing the traffic girl, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, look, these streets are usually busy.
Can
They're
I
like, "Ooh, the
point
cars."
a few things out here first? Number one, in the background, you've got the Piao Tai, the
Yes.
place to buy tickets.
Yeah.
So this is a theme park.
Yes.
It's like going to Disneyland, quite literally. You can see
Except
the turnstiles.
to erase genocide.
Yeah, can you see the turnstiles over there where
This
you
is
go
authentic
in?
culture.
This is the authentic. You're literally going to Disneyland and you're seeing Mickey and Minnie Mouse on the outside.
It's worse than that because it's a CCP. It's a central government communist Potemkin village to erase something bad they're doing.
Yeah, and they're
It's
wearing
worse.
really cheap rubbish Taobao costumes.
Yes.
It's not traditional at all. Okay, it is literally a tourist place, and we found out because we can read Chinese. So they've got. Can you notice all the tourists there with their cameras and stuff?
Yeah, I can see on the right. This is no vloggers are doing this.
Yeah. Ooh. So let's look it up.
So we go, oh, what a freaking surprise! It's literally like a culture village, a culture park.
Yeah, we can find it here on the CCP website.
Yes.
It is really ridiculous. It's a folklore park.
The Kanarjing Folklore
Yeah.
Park.
And what does it say?
It was set up by the CCP in Turpan, right?
Yes,
There's
that's
the
right.
coordinates, right? The most important thing is they have all this dance and leisure and all this stuff, basically to whitewash, what China did in the region /
Yeah.
is doing in the region. Anyway, keep going here. It's interesting. It was actually the way it was set up is quite fascinating.
Well, I just wanted to point out that it's got Kanarjang Museum. It's got a museum with some little artifacts in it. It's ethnic song and dance restaurants, residential hotels, vineyards, and shopping malls. So it's got everything, right? It's where they're staying. Okay, so let's see. Folk Street, residential hotel, vineyard. It integrates Kanarajing with a long history and courtyard-style residential hotel with national characteristics.
We get the idea. Let's move on.
Etc. About the Uyghur ethnic
Gotta
this
get
and
to
that.
the good stuff.
So it's like a horrible thing where they try to show off that, oh, it's all fine. But yeah, what is it?
It has been successfully rated as military civilian co-construction unit. So the
Yes.
PLA put this together. It's straight government.
It is, of course. It's a government thing to showcase Uyghur ethnic culture or minority culture, but it's tacky. As you can see, it's not authentic culture. It's actually just a horrible whitewashing of what their real culture is.
Continue.
Yeah, okay. I will. I'm continuing. Let's hit it.
That's not the important part.
No,
the important part's
yeah,
coming.
the important part's coming up, for sure.
We stumbled across some stuff.
So fresh. So beautiful.
This guy and his apple. I'm sorry. Okay, so you can see, this is just tourist garbage.
Yes.
Okay, this is not authentic culture. Where do they go next?
We are at
Urumqi International Landport area.
That's right. So today we are in Urumqi, and we are not doing the traditional thing of what most YouTubers do here in Urumqi, here
Whatever.
in Xinjiang. Today we're going to exploring something a little bit different. That's right. Today we are at a
Okay.
It's called Urumqi, and they couldn't even know how to say your room key.
Yeah, your room key. Here's your room key, sir.
Anyway, continue.
I would like to point out what you're seeing in the background here are government state media people with their microphones and cameras and tripods and stuff.
What are you talking about? This is just a travel vlog to the Xinjiang Urumqi new
Land
port area.
Yeah, because that's natural. You know, when I go traveling, that's what I do. Is first of all, I go find the nice local dish,
yes.
and the next thing I'm at the big, I don't know, Belt and Road Initiative project.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see.
land port. You might be thinking, what is a land port? I know about shipping containers. Okay, so as you can see from this map here, you can see how all of the different routes from Urumqi go all over the world, all the way into Europe. That's right, China's Belt to Road Initiative has really set up massive infrastructure.
Oh boy. So it wasn't a travel vlog, was it at all?
Yeah.
Because I can see his camera in the shot on state media here.
Because here's state media taking a picture of him making his vlog.
It's China Daily, in fact.
And it's not only that, it's a date with China, which we'll get into in a minute.
That gets very interesting.
So as you can see up there, it's ADVChina, which is the Belt and Road. So this is Belt and Road Initiative propaganda. So his
tick.
By the way, so I think you guys are starting to maybe understand that this guy's trip through Xinjiang is being paid for by the government.
Well, I think there's some proof to that.
Yeah, and the fact is,
wait.
it's being organized by the Chinese government.
For propaganda.
Yes, of course. They're setting him up. They're taking him to all these different places. This Uyghur customs folk town nonsense.
Yeah.
Here he is appearing in official state media. You can see photos of him from the state media because they obviously shot their own videos to like use for propaganda. It's not a good look, bro. That's not cool. Like, you know, travel vloggers, they're always like, oh, here I'm at the beach. Here's like, here I am, and let's do a pirouette in front of Belt and
In front
Road.
of Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative,
Yeah.
Uyghur genocide denial.
Welcome to Urumqi International Landport Area. Woo, we're having so much fun. Aren't you jealous? Seriously, it's so immoral.
So I have to say, this is a super rare experience to be able to film Chinese government workers working with their screens, with their paperwork in a government facility.
Why? Why is that super interesting? That is literally the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life.
I filmed at the PSP before.
Yeah, but it's literally the most boring thing.
Oh, I filmed them with their screens and their paperwork.
Cool, dude.
Good job.
Good stuff.
What is he doing here, by the way?
So fresh. Okay, so now we're at another place that you probably won't see.
Oh, your Chinese is good.
Yeah.
What does it say on the building? Not this textile crap in the background there.
Oh, ADVChina.
Yeah.
So it's the Belt and Road Initiative.
It's a Belt and Road Initiative like showpiece, okay?
It's China's imperialism.
Yes.
Their new imperialism campaign.
So they go from one Belt and Road thing to another Belt and Road thing. And what are they going to talk about this time? This is such a natural vlog, by the way.
It is. It's
Do you
such a
remember the
travel
title
vlog.
of this video?
What was it again?
We spend time with a Muslim Xinjiang family or whatever. We have dinner with them. Whatever. We stay with a Uyghur family.
Yeah. Well,
this is what it is.
On any vlogger's vlog coming here to Xinjiang province. So just exploring this place is super amazing. It shows from the very start how the cotton is picked all the way to the end and how it's shipped off to the rest of the world just from the ports that we're actually at.
Yeah.
Let's not.
So
let's do a little research before the government funds a trip to a contentious region where there's a genocide that they're trying to cover up and trying to make sure people don't know that they're forcing Uyghur people to pick cotton as slaves.
Bro, like Australian bro, what is wrong with you? Are you that dumb?
Did you Google where you were going?
Do you realize that they're using your face, your nationality, and your pretty wife to go out there and say that there's no forced labor of Uyghurs? You know? They are using you as genocide denial, forced labor denial. Is that something you want on your conscience? Do you want that to be you? Do you want to be the guy who is appearing on Chinese state media, not only your own video, which is shameful as it is, but on Chinese state media, which you'll see later, using you and your wife as proof that they are not separating families, they're not taking children away from their parents, they're not taking fathers away, they're not forcing people to abandon their religions and cultures, that they're not torturing people, that they're not forcing them to do hard labor. You want to be that guy? Yeah. Do you want to be that guy? Because now you are. Well done.
Well, let's get into it.
Naughty badge for you. How Beijing forces Uyghurs to pick cotton. There's plenty of evidence that this is the truth.
Linked below.
Yep.
So I'll start with the cotton. So as you can see here behind me, this is the cotton that is picked in the cotton fields. This gets picked, then sorted, then turned into nice cotton.
Wait, what? It's sorted, then picked, then turned into nice cotton.
That's how it works.
How
it was mean cotton before.
Yeah, how about actually knowing what you're talking about before you start? I wonder what he's going to say next.
Then filtered into a string.
It's filtered? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't think you filter cotton into a string, but whatever. Okay, well, okay.
Oh, no.
Now, okay, listen. I'm not the kind of person who says cultural appropriation because whatever, wear whatever you want, right? Sure. But this has got that vibe to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but it does kind of have that vibe.
Yes.
It's like, let's dress up as the persecuted minority here and pretend nothing's wrong.
Yeah, you're going to dress up as Kazakhs now.
Yeah.
I got Sophia. She looks so cool. Oh my gosh.
This.
So we both look Kazakh now, which is really cool. So yeah, what do you guys reckon? Leave us a comment. What do you think about our...
Don't.
Ooh, dude, don't tempt me. What do I think?
Continue.
Yeah.
Continue. Let's continue.
I got a couple of ideas. I got a couple of things I'd like to say. Maybe you guys can, just in the chat, tell us what you think of his costume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Continue.
I just really want to say that. Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay, I won't. I'll leave it.
Don't do it.
I'll leave it. But I would like everyone to please pay attention to these costumes because they'll be relevant later.
Relevant
okay?
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Score out of 10 would be great.
Minus 50, dude.
Okay, so right now we are out the front of... Where are we, darling?
We are at Xinjiang Pharmaceutical Uyghur Medicine.
Company right here actually helped people during COVID with healing and restoring the respiratory system.
Dude!
Now he's doing COVID propaganda.
COVID propaganda now. CCP, COVID propaganda, genocide denial, forced labor denial, cultural appropriation, whatever you want to do.
Let's
continue.
It's like a ball of evil.
Dude, it's like how much can we wring this guy out?
Yeah. We're going to use him for every single talking point, propaganda talking point.
This is in one video.
Yes. This is his one video. It's like, we stay with a Muslim Uyghur family.
I love the camera and sickle going to...
It's super fascinating to see.
Yes. Yes, I zoomed in on it.
Because the CCP is trying to promote traditional Chinese medicine right now.
Yes.
As a cure-all for everything. Mm-hmm. They're putting billions into it.
Yeah.
And he's doing that now.
Yeah.
You're a stooge.
My word.
You're a stooge.
You're disgusting. So
here's the deal.
Yeah.
I started going, you know what? I need to figure out where and how this happened. Mm-hmm. Very quickly, started to pull up some articles of state media that was saying that there was something put together to promote Xinjiang. Right?
Yeah.
This is where it got very, very interesting because what I noticed was something from the annals of my mind, because it's something that went away, okay? I saw these pictures come up on an account on Facebook called Explore Xinjiang, which is a Chinese state media account. But what I noticed mostly up in the corner was it said, a date with China. Can you hit play?
Yes.
And I was like, where have I heard that before? I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah, a date with China.
And it's something bad, but I had to figure it out. So I started doing some research again. Yeah. And yes, I have covered this before. This is something that's been resurrected. In fact, it was from the 2021 reports of ASPI, which is a fantastic report called Borrowing Maos to Speak on Xinjiang.
Yes.
In this
link
report,
in the description.
Link in the description. In this report, focuses on 3 in-depth case studies that analyze Xinjiang-focused foreign influencer content and the amplification of the content by Chinese state entities. The case study 1 was the Date with China propaganda campaign. Yeah. Now, those pictures you just saw of them dressed up, that's from 2024. Yes. So I'm like, this study is from 2021. How odd, right?
Yes.
Something that kind of got rid of because they were too exposed with these reports, right? Yes. In fact, it says social media influencers from Canada, Germany, UK, and Ghana took part in a Date with China media tour of Xinjiang in May 2021, which is held under the auspices of the Cyberspace Administration of China, the CAC. The tour was co-organized by China Daily and 11 of China's provincial-level cyberspace administration, including Xinjiang CIC. That's going to be important.
Sure.
So that's central government, by the way. Content created as a part of the Xinjiang leg of the A Date with China tour received significant online amplification across U.S.-based social media platforms. China Daily articles and videos, in addition to other related material, have been promoted at least 150 times by China state media and Ministry of Foreign Affairs accounts on Facebook alone. That will be very relevant soon. Sure. The most active Facebook page is sharing A Date with China content, where the People's Daily what is it? We are what? You're blocking it.
We Are China.
We Are China account. And the Japanese version of the People's Daily account. Go ahead. So this was something they did back in 2021. So I'm like, wait, have they just resurrected this? So I see this account. Yes. Posted October 21st, 2024. I do some sleuthing.
Because they released that video 3 months ago.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's no way they're doing this shit again. There's no way, right? But they have. In fact, they have A Date with China tour in Xinjiang, resurrected this year, and it's happening right now, too. As a state government thing. So I wanted some receipts. I want to be like, let's just, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they just rebranded this the same thing. Yes. Right? So I had someone take to DeepSeek in Hong Kong, okay? And they went on DeepSeek to ask some questions about this Jack and Sophia tour. Okay, this is that channel, right? Yes. And if you go to the next one, we can look at the translation. The translation of the conclusion. So the department that directly funded, this is China's AI, by the way. This is not a Western interpretation.
We specifically asked the Chinese AI because it'll have access to the Chinese articles and so on.
The department that directly funded Jack and Sophia Tour's trip to Xinjiang is the Xinjiang Autonomous Region Party Committee Cyberspace Affairs Office. And the background of their activities is consistent with China's overall policy direction of promoting international communication and promoting Xinjiang's openness and cooperation. Straight up central government propaganda funded this trip, according to China. Yes. Some other interesting things here, by the way. You can read through this in your own leisure. You can take this out for a second. But one thing, one conclusion it said, maybe Ned did something like this, National Endowment for Democracy, right? But this is my favorite part. It says, and other organizations have long funded infiltration activities targeting Xinjiang, but there's no evidence that they're related to Jack and Sophia's trip to Xinjiang. On the contrary, the content of the two people's trips reflects positive propaganda about the development of Xinjiang, which is obviously contrary to the divisive goals of organizations such as NED. So AI concluded, with sources, by the way, that this trip was funded by this Xinjiang Autonomous Region Cyberspace Administration, which is really bad, by the way.
By the way, they did cite sources, so it's not just an AI vomit. Like, there are sources.
It comes up with the websites, right? Now, more importantly, you have to understand the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Regions Party Committee Cyberspace Affairs Office.
This is the one that organized this trip for them.
Correct. Well, according to that AI. So I wanted to go, I wanted to triple check. I was like, let's just make sure, right? Yeah. So let's look at this. We know it was affiliated, at least, right? So looking at this, you see this date with China thing? This is their 2021 media tour. So I was like, let me go back in the archives and see who organized that one.
Yes.
Right? Like, the Aspie report said. And let's go in and zoom in a little bit here. Enhance. In 2021, this particular trip was organized, with all these other influencers by the Cyberspace Administration of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, which corroborates perfectly with what just happened now.
Correct.
The Central Cyberspace Affairs Commission is the branch of the CCP that controls these parts of the government.
Yeah.
And this particular one is under the direct Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party. It's quite literally under the highest branch of government in China.
Yeah.
Right? Continue. And that's important because...
now it makes sense. Number one, it makes sense that he would quote a Xi Jinping, because no travel vlogger is going to just randomly pluck that out of the air. They can't speak Chinese.
Yes.
So now he's quoting Xi Jinping propaganda. And also, now, why are there videos being advertised? Someone's paying to advertise.
That's what we're going to get to in a second.
This is starting to make sense.
Starting to make a lot of sense. I think we're starting to get to the bottom of this. So why? Let's just talk about why. Why is the Cyberspace Administration of the Central Committee, right, in China, why are they doing this, right? Well, if we go back to the original report back in 2021, so it says, the report explores how Chinese Communist Party uses foreign social media influencers to shape and push messages domestically and internationally about Xinjiang that are aligned with its own preferred narratives. Our research found key instances in which Chinese state entities have supported influencers in creation of social media content in Xinjiang, as well as amplified influencer content that supports pro-CCP narratives. Why does it exist? Well, the content broadly seeks to debunk Western media reporting, academic research, refute statements by foreign governments, and counter allegations of widespread human rights abuses in Xinjiang. Often such content is then promoted by party state media and diplomatic accounts across major international social media networks and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This trend is particularly notable given the difficulty faced by journalists reporting in Xinjiang. Bingo blango, what do we got? It quite literally just illustrates why that video exists.
Yes.
Right? It is to debunk all of the things that people have proven are happening in Xinjiang, a modern day genocide. Go to the next slide.
Yep.
The interesting thing here is this particular thing. The Chinese party state continues to deny allegations of human rights abuses in Xinjiang, including forced labor, mass detention, cultural erasure, right? And you go through and you start to realize why they're doing this. And it's been proven. I would like to show you some proof. And this is what you're now associated with.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's go through here. This is the Xinjiang police files. These are thousands and thousands of people that have been detained into re-education centers because of the current genocide happening in China.
Yes.
This was hacked by someone. I can't remember who did it, but they uploaded not only all the inmates' photos, but blurbs from the Chinese police state.
Yeah, from the database.
From the database as to why they were detained.
Yes.
Right? And why some of the reasons they were actually taken away from their families and whether they were detained for re-education or for long imprisonment, right?
Yeah.
There is a treasure trove of incredibly disturbing imagery, of incredibly sad, unbelievably tear-jerking stories of these people, of how the Chinese government has gone into Western China and quite literally de-established their culture and completely dismantled everything that they have. And not just like, oh, you can't speak your language anymore, but quite literally erased everything and ripped people apart from their families and put them into decades of prison terms for doing nothing.
Let's show you a couple of things. They've got surveillance cameras inside of all the mosques, of course. The mosques that aren't tourist attractions, which you pay an entrance fee, by the way, which are most of them now.
But this is surveillance footage. They monitor every person that is worshiping.
These are contraband that they've confiscated.
So when they arrest people, arrest Uyghurs, they take their Qurans, they arrest
literally
them for
someone's
having a prayer
notebook.
mat, a notebook, a hood, a shawl. These are illegal items in China.
Yeah.
Right. This is what needs to be controlled. This is a police photo, by the way, of things that were taken from people that they have thrown into concentration camps. You know that, I don't want to say it's too disturbing, but like this really brings back memories of people if you've gone to certain museums.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to do this the whole, hey, Jack, look at this. But Jack, you're doing this on behalf of the Central Committee of the Chinese government for this reason. To support these activities, right? To tiger chair,
to whitewash it,
and black bag people. Yeah. This is a father.
Yeah.
These are people's fathers that left their children because they were black bagged away. Tell this girl. What happened to her?
She was using niche chat tools, VPN, circumvention software.
Take us out.
So here's the thing. Because she was using a VPN, she was...
Sent to re-education.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, Jack. Did you use a VPN to upload your videos in China?
Because she went to re-education for God knows how many years. Because she used a chat tool, probably MSN or WhatsApp, to communicate with people. And you had to use a VPN because it's blocked in China.
Yes.
And got arrested and thrown into a concentration camp.
I'm pretty sure you used the VPN to check your Gmail and maybe your Facebook because that's all blocked in China, you know? You got to think about this stuff before you take these jobs because, again, why are you doing all this propaganda for the Chinese government? What, like...
Maybe when he's there, because he's there, right?
Yeah.
Well, he claims to be there. Why don't you go knock onto this, what is this, re-education facility?
Yeah.
Go knock on the door and ask, can I talk to this 17-year-old boy? Because do you know what his confession is?
What?
This is why he was sent to re-education. In January 2010, I studied scriptures with Mumuti Tai at Nuramet Razi's home for 15 days. This child,
15-year-old child,
17-year-old child, went to go study his religion.
Yeah.
And he was thrown in a re-education camp. It gets worse.
Sure.
This is like a little tiny like droplet of this happened to millions of people.
Yeah.
Millions.
Well, I mean, like, all you need to do is walk around in some crappy courtyard in the back of a house and say, this is real Xinjiang. This is real China.
Yes.
And then it's like, no, none of this happened, right?
This girl's a university student sent to re-education. This girl was sent to re-education to an industrial park, right?
Yeah.
Reason? Unknown.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. These are the people, the millions of people. This 69-year-old man, do you know why he was sentenced?
No idea.
Preliminary sentence. Do you know why?
Why?
It says he was a relative of 3 categories of personnel with a beard.
Okay.
And they documented how long he had a beard. They threw this guy into detention facility, not just re-education.
Yeah.
He's in prison, probably still, for having a beard.
Sure.
That was his crime.
Yep. Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not a good look. I hope that apple was worth it.
How about this 73-year-old woman that was thrown into New Internment Camp K? Does that not give you chills? An old lady, a 73-year-old lady, was thrown into New Internment Camp K for doing what?
Yeah.
For being a Uyghur, for not being a Han Chinese.
Well, it says reason unknown.
You know what her reason was? She wasn't the right race.
Yeah. That's right.
This is racial-based genocide. And it's been proven.
It is.
I just want to rip through some of these. A 15-year-old boy. Why?
No reason.
He was sentenced. He's in jail.
Yeah.
A kid.
That's right. It's pretty rough.
This kid is 16. Do you know what he did? He was a relative of someone that was arrested. What do they say? The sins of my father?
Yeah, exactly. Sons of the fathers. Yeah.
A 16-year-old boy is in re-education because he was a relative of someone that was arrested.
Yeah.
This 17-year-old boy sent to Vocational Skills Education and Training Center for re-education. 6 people in the family were detained. Their thoughts fluctuated and their emotions were unstable. They were uneasy people, family members of detainees. He was a family member of people they didn't like, Uyghurs, thrown in re-education.
Yeah, may as well. They probably took the parents away and he was just like...
Well, they took all
all
6
everyone, and they're like, well...
split him up.
Yeah, he's here, so what are we going to do with him,
Let's see these 2 people. This kid is 20, right?
Yeah.
He was just a person involved. So again, re-educated because you knew the wrong person. This girl here, 26, she's in the New Internment Camp.
Yeah.
Reason? Unknown.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
She was the wrong race.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened. It's very easy when it says unknown.
But you're showing us the authentic culture, right? By going to a Disneyland freaking theme park where they dance around in like fake clothing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they're not going to be able to go to Industrial Park A2 where she's doing forced labor. Do you know why?
Why?
She had the illegal study of scriptures of her religion, and she wore a veil.
Ah.
She wore a veil and studied the scriptures, and now she is she's detained. She was arrested, not just re-education. She's in jail.
Yep.
You know that black bag with the cuffs? That's her.
Yep, exactly. That's pretty rough. How about this old woman?
Now let's finish off with a 73-year-old woman. A 73-year-old woman that is in a new internment camp. This is somebody's grandmother.
Yeah.
And again, Did you go talk to these people? Because millions of them were or are in concentration camps.
You know what they did is they went along with a bunch of government minders, state media, who organized everything for them, said, here, film your thing, we'll stand out of the shot, pretend like you're doing like a natural travel vlog, put it on your channel. Don't mention that you were sponsored by the Chinese government propaganda department. Don't mention that we're taking you to all these places and organizing everything and making sure that you don't see anything you're not supposed to see. Don't mention any of that. You go tell everybody this is the real Xinjiang. This is real authentic culture. And that helps us.
And by the way, you know that part where he told you to say that Xi Jinping quote?
Yeah.
Someone figured it out. Get rid of that part.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Somebody told him to. Well, I think he saw my video and he's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, to be honest.
Let's just finish off with this.
15-year-old?
Maybe you can reach out to Raheel Omer, who is 15 years old, sent to re-education.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would love your
She's
video.
interned in the industrial city. That sounds great.
She'll love your video.
Yeah.
The real Uyghur family that you got to stay with.
Yes,
She'll
exactly.
love that.
Now, this has happened before.
This is not our first rodeo, guys.
Yeah. Stop putting ads on our videos.
Part of my language, don't fucking do it.
Yes.
Don't do this.
Yes.
Don't take out ad campaigns on our videos because we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And guess what? We figured it out before because we took down one of the biggest genocide denial networks 3 years ago. This is called the Story of Xinjiang by Gu Li. China hired some people to pretend to show the real Xinjiang, took out ad campaigns on our videos, and then aggressively went after us.
Yes.
They would, every time you open one of our videos, they must have taken out like $100,000 campaigns.
I think so.
Every time you'd click on one of our videos, it would have these girls be like, don't listen to the lies about what's happening in Xinjiang. We'll show you the real Xinjiang,
Yeah.
right? So we started going after them. We started digging. Right?
Yeah.
I said, why are you and your Chinese government employers paying for massive ad campaigns on my YouTube channel? Tell your government minders that it's pretty embarrassing to create entire channels and waste enormous amounts of money on a cover-up of a genocide.
Yep.
So we went after it.
Yeah.
We went after it, and they started hitting back. They said, why are you bullying us, right?
Yeah.
We were like, no. And we found out their third-party MCN.
Yes.
We figured out where it was coming from. We figured out the branch of government that was doing it. And we dismantled it. We went after them hard.
Yeah.
They tried to do these videos with like, we're such sad girls. Look
Don't
at how about my
listen to these
ponytail?"
Lao 86 sipping today. How about my ponytail?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the OG guys will remember that.
This is an old.
That was a big thing,
great
and we
story,
spanned it across all 3 of our channels.
Yeah.
And we actually got that shut down. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were growing rapidly
Yes.
because of these ad campaigns against us. And what we did was we uncovered it. And we took probably...
Look, they were followed by Zhao Lijian.
Yeah, which is the foreign minister.
Yeah, speaking of the foreign minister, you're going to see in a second.
A foreign minister spokesman.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so they even tried to add him to get him to attack us.
Yeah, they tried to threaten us. They said, how about it? Are you afraid? At Zhao Lijian. They added the foreign ministry spokesman who had already been following them, by the way.
Yes,
This is all a campaign against us.
Correct.
And it was removed.
Yeah.
Their account was removed.
Back when Twitter took that kind of thing seriously. Anyway.
that goes into what just happened.
Yes, okay.
Very
So
interesting.
we've, for a while now, been talking about the fact that China's foreign ministry spokesperson, the spokeswoman, Mao Ning, has an official X account or Twitter account. She joined only this year, immediately joined, and I've been kind of really pissed off that this is allowed because they don't allow Chinese people to go on Twitter or X.
Because it's banned in
It's
China.
banned and blocked. You cannot access it. You need a VPN. And if you get caught using a VPN, well, you know...
We just showed you what happens. You go
You
to
can,
a
you can,
re-education
depending on
facility.
where you are in the country, you can get a slap on the wrist, you can get a fine, or you can go to jail. Just
Or you
depending.
can be disappeared forever.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, she's on there putting this Chinese propaganda again and again and again. Now, just to remind of who she is, okay, I'll show you a little thing over here. She's the person who stands up and always scolds the West or scolds America. That's what she does for a
美国政府
living.
要做的是放弃双重标准，正视国内警察暴。
Stop looking like the US. Stop looking the other way when it comes to police brutality and racial discrimination at home.
I'm sorry. Did you not just see what we just showed you? You genocided Western China based on their race and culture and ethnicity and language and religion, and you blackbagged them and forced them into concentration camps.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Exactly. So anyway, this ministry person, she's not a nice person.
No.
Okay.
Well, the Chinese government's not nice.
Yeah, she is the spokesperson. She says all this nasty stuff, and she accuses America of doing all sorts of bad things.
Yeah, they really hate
种
America.
族歧视的问题。
Okay, so you know what she did? Dude, remember a couple episodes ago, I made that little montage, and this was a collaborative effort, by the way. And some of our audience members were part of this. They helped us find a lot of these travel vloggers and sent us links. Hey, these guys are all saying the same thing. So then together we did this. Then I edited it all together, and I made like a montage of everyone saying 22nd floor or whatever, right? So then I refined it for my latest video. So I made it even more, and I refined it and made it better. Some people on Twitter clipped it out of my video. They didn't, give me any credit, but I don't mind as long as it's getting out there. And they posted it and it was getting a lot of views. Mao Ning sees this thing going around and thinks it's positive propaganda and posts it. She posted it as if it was a good thing. Visit the incredible Guixing building in Chongqing, where the ground floor is also the 22nd floor.
She 22nd floored.
Yes. Mind-bending fun in the city of mountains. And she posted this literally left in the NPC meme.
People looked up the brain tubes.
Yes. Dude. So, I mean, like, this is like 4D chess. We managed to get the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman to tweet out our criticism of this stupid propaganda where everyone's paid and on the same script. So here's the actual clip.
Or incentivized.
Yeah, incentivized, yeah. Let's take a look. Here's the actual clip that she posted. And it's in all of its
feel
glory.
like it's ground floor.
On the ground.
Ground level.
The ground floor.
On the ground level.
The ground floor.
Ground floor level.
Ground.
On the ground floor.
Ground level.
On the ground floor.
First floor.
First floor.
The ground level. The
ground.
You'd be forgiven for thinking that we were on terra firma. However,
We
are in fact.
But you actually...
I'm actually...
While actually...
Is actually...
You're actually...
But actually...
We're actually
You're on the 22nd floor of a building.
On the 22nd floor.
22 stories up.
20 stories above the ground.
You're on the 20th floor.
That we are 22 floors up.
We are on the 22nd floor right now.
That's a 22nd floor.
Yep. 22 floors up.
You're at 22nd. On the 22nd floor.
And down here, there's 22 floors down the side of this building. Oh my days, check that out.
22nd floor.
So this is what she posted.
I'm sorry, the Chinese government at the highest level thought that all the people saying exactly the same script, which clearly exposes this as a propaganda campaign.
Yes.
They thought other countries' people are going to watch this and say that's a good thing.
Yes.
It is the worst PR I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It shows China's the most inauthentic country that has propaganda and foreign influencers doing it, and then posts it as if it's a PR stunt.
You know what's interesting, though? You can get a little bit of insight into how the Chinese government is taking advantage of X and other social media platforms. Is immediately after she posted, amplifier accounts, which are linked to the
write
Chinese
these down.
government.
If you're going to track this stuff, write this down.
Take a look, word for word. They copied exactly what she said. They edited slightly, like added some bold or added a hashtag, but it's the same script.
Yeah, these are most likely CCP and amplifier propaganda accounts. Worth noting.
But I mean, like, immediately.
Immediately. Worth noting.
Yes. So it's kind of like it all happens at the same time. Yeah. So now they're taking whatever propaganda she puts out that they think is good propaganda, they run with it and they go put it out, right? So this is random accounts. And then we get like, let's see, there was more. It's like some random Chinese embassy somewhere in the world here.
I love that the freaking PC meme's still in there from our
know,
clip. We
so
made
dumb.
this clip and Mao Ning put it out. It's the closest we've ever gotten to the CCP.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Top CCP official.
The fact that they think that's a good idea to put that out there.
That is just the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
That's chocolate.
Mind-bending fun in the city of mountains, you know? Ground floor equals 22nd floor NPC. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So you got some random Chinese embassy is doing hashtag China travel and posting that.
So that's an official amplifier there.
Yes. This China perspective I showed earlier, but this is another one of those guys. But, you know, just to remind you who this person is, because, okay, it gets a little more sinister. We will take all measures to firmly safeguard the legitimate rights and interests. Okay. Do you realize that, you know, we can make fun of all my Chocolado or whatever, but dude, Chocolado, dude, you are now linked to the Chinese government propaganda, like in a big way.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how it's going to be used later.
Now they're using you, okay? Look at that. Mao Ning, who's going on and telling America that, they've got homeless drug people and it's their fault and, they're weak or whatever.
And racist and bad. And
is now
China's
also putting you out as
world.
like, look how great China is. Yeah. Now you are associated with that,
反观美国，人口仅占世界5%，却消费了全球80%的阿片类药物。
Yeah, because you're sending it there. U.S. a black hole and source of a problem for global drug control.
是一家独大的
U.S. is the single largest major drug demand country.
没有资格对中国
and is no position to wag its finger at China's counter-narcotics efforts. The incompetence and ineffective control is the true cause of the pervasive drug problem in the U.S.
在于自身能力不强，管控不力。
But then now you're associated with this, the China Foreign Ministry.
The central government.
I wanted to make a point. There's a reason I'm showing this. A lot of people push back when I show that these guys are doing these propaganda fluff pieces. They're like, well, America also has tourism boards.
It's not the same.
Yeah, that's the difference. If you go to the Grand Canyon or you go to Yosemite, Yosemite, or something like that, and you're like, oh, look at Old Yeller or whatever it is. Sorry, Old Faithful,
Yeah, Old Yeller's a dog.
Yes, I know, but it's a Yeller.
Probably not going to see him.
Yeller stone,
Yeah.
So you got this old... They're not going to take this dude that's going to Old Yeller, whatever, Old Faithful, and showing the geyser and being like, and he's like, look at this beautiful scenery. They're not going to then go to the White House where they have their press briefing and say, there's no drug problem in America
because
this guy went to Old Faithful, and look, there were no homeless people there. So there's a big separation. Tourism, what would you even call it? It's not even propaganda. It's like promotion.
Yeah.
Tourism promotion in other countries is tourism promotion.
Yes.
It's literally like, okay, you want to go to Monaco because you can sit there and have a champagne and look at the beautiful view.
Yes.
And they're like, swank this, nice hotels, great beaches. That's promotion of travel. Okay? Tourism. China doesn't do that.
No.
China takes somebody who says oh, look at the food here is fantastic, and then uses it for genocide denial propaganda.
Or to go in and say, this is why America's bad. You have gun problems. Look at this train.
Yes.
Right? China has the best high-speed rail in the world. And then you're like, okay, he's doing train propaganda. Then it's like, oh, Xi Jinping took everyone out of poverty and there's no one's poor left
Exactly.
now. And it's not true.
Exactly. So when you think you're just participating in tourism, promotion or something, it's not. You are participating in China's big, aggressive propaganda machine.
It's part of Jianghao Zhongguo Gushi.
Yeah.
And if you're doing these that are set up by these MCNs, right, you're actually part of the Chinese government's multi-billion-dollar campaign.
Correct.
To take over the world.
Yeah. So let's see. What else does she say? The U.S. is overstretching the concept of national security and abusing state power.
Why is the Chinese government so nasty? Why is it so nasty about stuff?
I love this. She's obviously in reference to TikTok here.
Okay.
To suppress foreign companies, okay? So hang on a second. We firmly oppose those wrong actions. The U.S. government should respect the principles of market economy and fair competition.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Stop suppressing the companies and provide an open, fair, and non-discriminatory environment for foreign companies in the U.S.
That's
rich.
China literally forces you to relinquish 51% of your company to a Chinese company and then monitors you and puts party officials to monitor your business and then steal your IP and then kick you out.
China does not have an open or fair or non-discriminatory environment for foreign companies in the US.
No.
You cannot just go and launch a product in China.
No.
It's not open. It's not fair. And they ban you all the time. They banned and blocked every bloody app from the West. So it's rich, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And she went on about that DeepSeek thing. They're like, America shouldn't ban DeepSeek, right?
Mm-hmm.
They banned OpenAI in China and they banned every American website and app.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
No you.
Yes, no you. But then again, look, now you, travel vlogger man, are now associated with this. Okay? You've got the Chinese foreign spokesperson using your face and your image as a way to promote China for their own goals.
For political gain.
Yes.
Not for tourism.
Not for tourism. This is not, by the way, Mao Ning is not some kind of tourism queen.
No.
She's not an influencer running around taking selfies on the beach. She is literally the person telling everyone that the US is full of drug people and whatnot.
Way worse than that.
Yeah, she says a lot of terrible
promoting
things.
China's best interest.
This is the foreign ministry spokeswoman, okay? And it gets worse. Here I am, just looking for Chinese propaganda as I do on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we both
which is, it's always a painful part of the week.
Depressing.
And I come across this on New China TV, which is Xinhua, Chinese state media. Way to go, China. And they've got a video, right? And they are including one of their useful idiot travel propagandists here.
A great travel blogger.
Yeah, exactly. But
Jüri,
now,
a good guy.
Yeah.
Seems like I like his videos. I'm not joking. But this is what you
this
end
is
up
what happened.
doing.
Yes, and that's why people don't know what they're dealing with when they deal with China. Because this guy, Drubinski, here you are in Chinese state media, and what do you think this Chinese state media video is about? It says, "Way to go, China." It's got you in there. It's got a bunch of other travel vloggers in there, and then it says, "Lifted." What do you think it's going to say next? Out of poverty. Now, you are the face of poverty alleviation propaganda in China. Did you sign up for that?
Probably not. Well, probably in a way. By doing travel videos in China through these MCNs that have scripts or these talking points you have to do, you end up doing propaganda for China.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is
you sold your soul.
Well, yeah, the issue with that is like, let's say poverty alleviation. You might not even know why that's a problem. But the problem is that Xi Jinping declared that everyone in China was lifted out of extreme poverty.
Yes.
But what actually happened was they went around and arrest people that show poverty now.
Yes.
Because it was declared by the great dictator of China that there's no more poverty, right?
Yeah.
Now hundreds of millions of people that are living in poverty, by the way, abject poverty.
Yes.
Hundreds of millions of people in China cannot even talk about it. They can't say. There was people that filmed their wedding not to expose poverty.
Yeah, they're
like, oh, we're so
wedding.
happy we're having our wedding, and they had some beers and some like stuff on the floor because they're so poor.
Yeah,
they got arrested.
Yeah,
they got arrested by the government for showing that they were poor. Right.
Yeah.
So now you're the face of poverty alleviation that didn't happen in China because the great dictator said so. You're part of Jianghao Zhongguo Gushi,
yes,
whether you like it or not. And that's the problem I have with these travel vloggers. Is not that they're doing travel promotion. I think a lot of them don't even know.
No.
But this is why we're making this video, is to educate you. When you do this, you are part of something very nefarious.
Yes.
Whether you know it or not.
And there's no way out.
No, because they will use your stuff forever.
Chinese state media has used you. They've set you up so you kind of owe them anyway. For the majority of these guys, of course, not everybody is being paid by the Chinese government. Not everybody is being led around by their nose by a Chinese minder. But a lot of them are, because guess what? It's convenient. It's
also illegal to walk around by yourself and film whatever you want.
Yes.
You can't do that in China.
Yeah, there are some cities where it's tolerated, like, the big cities, Shanghai, Beijing.
Even then.
But they keep an eye on you.
Yeah, they will. You'll have a minder.
But, you cannot go to Xinjiang without some sort of official,
We've
connection.
spoken to people that have been to Xinjiang because they had to do some sort of journalistic thing. And I'm not going to give you details for their own privacy.
Yeah.
It is the most insane. It's worse than North Korea in that they orchestrate things to actually divert people from certain areas.
You'll also notice that if people do try to go there by themselves, there's always this interesting situation where a random girl will approach them and be like, hey, can I get your phone number? Or they're like, hi, welcome to Xinjiang. Let me show you my family or something.
Yes.
Those are undercover police. Those are the agents watching you. It's definitely
also the people trying to get you to show an idyllic picture.
Yes, exactly. It's not good. So what I'm saying is, when you deal with the devil like this, they now own your soul. They're going to use you for their own nefarious, very aggressive propaganda. It's not just poverty alleviation. In this one video alone, I think they did BRI, they did a bunch of other stuff too.
A lot of stuff. Why do you think China hated us so much? We showed the good stuff in China. We did TV documentaries. We made videos. We were very positive about China, but it wasn't what they wanted to show.
Yes.
And so they drove us out. They hated what we did because they couldn't control what we were doing. We never signed on with state media.
No, we didn't get permits from them. We just did it.
What they've done is they've kind of created this barrier through these third-party companies, and you think that you're doing tourism stuff, but actually what you're doing is you're doing top CPC, CCP, both branches of the top level of government.
CPPCC. CPPCC.
In promoting their ideology and their nefarious doings without even knowing you're doing that.
So I would like to just put an appeal out there. Anyone who's thinking of going to China, if you're going to go do travel vlogs and you're going to be genuine about it, no problem. But if you've gotten some kind of an invite, and it doesn't matter if it sounds like some legitimate Lonely Planet type thing, because that's never the case. Sometimes they try to confuse you and they'll use names.
Buzzwords.
Yeah, buzzwords that sound like a real thing. don't take any of these deals.
Read the fine print too.
Yeah, but just don't take the deals because there's no way to back out of it. Once you've done it, they now own you, and they will own your image, and they will use it. And
for a lot of things.
Yeah, just go there if you're going to film by yourself and be legit. But if someone's organizing something for you, someone's paying for a hotel, paying for your travel, paying for a meal, taking you to special places to go and look, like a freaking land port. What kind of a travel vlogger wants to go to a stupid cargo port?
It's because it was organized.
Yeah.
Right? And
then you know.
DeepSeek told us.
Yeah. And just remember that, if you have such a bad conscience that you can sleep at night after doing what you did there, Apple man,
I genuinely don't think he knows the ramifications of this, but like moral ramifications. I just think it's crazy to go to a place that's so contentious and not look it up on Google first, because there is so much proof that we've linked down below of what's happening there.
Especially when they keep pushing you to like, show the real culture. Talk about this.
Put that blurb in there about how Uyghur people
Wouldn't
actually
you be
richer.
a little bit suspicious?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be like, why do they keep asking me to like focus on this? Why do they keep asking me to say this?
Yeah, the thing that's a little suspicious too is why'd you remove the Xi Jinping quote in the beginning of the video? I mean, like
he knows what he did.
I think he knows maybe in post of what's happened.
Exactly.
Right? I don't think he went there with nefarious intent.
Yeah. Anyway, we've uncovered a lot more and a lot deeper into that whole propaganda thing. We've got a lot of documents and a lot of stuff like that, but we don't want to show it all right now, and it'll take too long.
I want to say one thing. What is the lesson here? I like your advice. I also think that there needs to be a rule that you need to disclose who funded your trip.
Yes.
And I don't, like I said, I've said this before. If you want to go do CCP propaganda and your country allows doing propaganda for an adversarial nation.
Sure.
And you want to sell your soul, you want to do whatever you want. I think that's your freedom. If you're from a free country, go do that.
Sure.
Do whatever you want to do. Stay safe. But you should have to disclose who funded your trip.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very simple thing to ask for. It's kind of like how Twitter got rid of all the government labels and stuff. We need those. We need to know who's working for
I think you're
adversarial
absolutely
nations.
right. It's like if you get a sponsorship from someone, you can't just be like, this tea tastes great.
Just
you
like
should
if we have an AG1 ad, it says down below, this is a sponsored video.
Yeah.
We'll tell you who sponsored it.
Yes. Don't pretend like, this product is really nice.
Yes.
Ooh, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
You've got to disclose it.
I think it's important.
There's got to be a disclaimer.
Especially if it's adversarial propaganda.
Now if Appleman was a decent bloke, he would make a video and just say like, listen, yes, I was paid. This is how it was.
Right.
And I mean, just be honest about it.
I thought it was this. Yeah.
Yes, just be honest about it.
Sure.
Just be like, hey, listen.
I didn't know it was bad.
It was a great opportunity. They took me around. They showed me factories. They gave me access to things I didn't know. Yes, it was the Chinese government propaganda thing, but you know, it is a great experience. Just be honest about it. At least people know what they're seeing. Don't pretend like you're some kind of like, special access. I'm such a cool guy. I'm just like going around.
Don't get to do this.
Yeah, I'm going around and I'm seeing all these things.
Like,
I want to share.
You have
like,
CCP minders. Made that happen.
You didn't do anything other than be led around by your nose.
Yeah,
like an ox
by a propaganda department.
Yes, and taken to places and said, film
to make it look. And again, I don't think his intent was to deny the Uyghur genocide.
Sure.
But that's what the purpose of these tours are.
Yes,
and it's clear now. ASPI has done so many reports. New York Times, all these different publications have done reports on this.
Yeah.
It's been exposed by Chinese people themselves.
Yes.
It's been exposed by Uyghurs that have fled and their families are still there.
Yeah.
It has been exposed so many times that you should know. You should know.
I remember you.
What did I tell you to make our background today?
You wanted like some Irish landscape or some garbage like that?
What did you say?
I said, that's not jovial.
You do get better local beers.
Yeah, but you never know what they're made out of, like urine from a pig.
These people are missing eyes.
They're weird.
No, but they're questioning your saying Elijah Wood was a heartthrob. Oh, I don't know if that's any good.
Everyone's having a laugh and a snigger. The guy comes back, starts drinking his piss and coke instead of brownie coke.
This is like flat coffee.
Oh, yeah.
It's cold.
This is not
isn't
the Crow.
By the way, I just want to say I wore green for St.
Yes.
Patrick's Day.
For those of you who remember.